Good morning, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday morning, Tuesday morning. Good morning. We're gonna have some fun today with some quilt squares, y'all. We're gonna have some fun today with some quilt squares. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are y'all doing? Y'all, I got a few quilt squares put together, well, that we're gonna make today. So I was working on a new one, and y'all, the new one didn't turn out very good. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll do a new one with y'all. And so I got it put together this morning, and y'all, I'll show you here in a minute. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm putting another mug rug on. So, but yeah, needless to say, that one I was working on did not turn out very good. So I'm going to show y'all that that one here in a minute. Go backwards. So I was like, because we're doing quilt squares today, and I'm like, well, I could do a new quilt square today, and I could learn one with y'all. So I was like, well, I'm going to make it first. So y'all, it's kind of whacked. I don't know. I didn't much care for it, and it didn't stitch together. I ended up with, yeah, I don't know. So I'm like, I am not much caring for it. So I'm like, we're going to scratch that one. So I'll figure out something to do with these, but we're scratching that, and we're not doing that one. We are not doing that one. So we're going to do the other one. So let me show y'all the ones that we're going to do. So we're going to learn how to make a few different quilt squares today. So first one we're going to learn is we're going to learn how to do this one. So, but we're going to go double on this one. So, because we do this one, but we're going to expand it one more out. So let me show you the print that we're going to do. So that one right there, we are going to be doing with this. So we're going to use the purple, the yellow, and then a purple in the middle. And then I added a fun little bird into the middle of that one. So fun little bird. So this is going to be the fabric that we use for this square. That is going to be this one for this square. So I'm thinking that one might be a little pretty. That one's going to be pretty. So we have that one that we're going to do. And then we are also going to do, so we're going to have some fun with these squares. So we have this square, and then we have this square. So the fabric that we're going to do with these squares is, so I decided blues. We're going to go blues on this one. So we have these two that we're going to put together. Everybody seems to like gingham, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw some gingham in here if I can get it apart. So we have this one and this one that we're going to put together for one of the squares. And these are 10-inch squares. These are 10-inch squares. And then I have this one and this one that we're going to put together. So, because I'm going to try and do 2 squares of each of them. So we have that square that we're going to do. And then I have these squares. So we have this one and we have this one. So we're going to do that one. And for that one, I have some green. Everybody seemed to like the green and the purple. So I have a green and purple and then white with this one. So we're going to be doing that one. And then one of my favorite ones to do is the next block. So with that one, this is one of my favorite squares. This is literally my go-to square, y'all. This is my go-to square for everything. So I've got 2 of these, and I've showed y'all how to make these squares. So this square is made with a 3 3/4 inch strip. So actually 3 3/4 and a 3 and a, yeah, if I could talk, 3 3/4, y'all. So inch strips. So in this one, I found some fun fabric the other day. So it's got like a bluish purple and then some pinks and then some greens. So we're going to have some fun and we're going to see how many squares we can get done. So I'm thinking for the first one, do we want to go ahead and do that first one I showed y'all first? Or do y'all have a choice on which one you want to do first? Because I'm thinking that one first. Shall we do this one first? Because I think this is a fun one and it's a fairly easy one. You take, so what we're going to do is you have a 10-inch square, a 5-inch square, and then we also have a 12-inch square we're throwing in there. So we're going to have some fun. Okay, we're going to do this one first. We are going to do this one first. So I'm going to put this over here. And right, fun, y'all. So we are learning quilt squares today. Thanks for joining. We're going to have some fun. Like I said, this is the quilt square we're going to do. We're going to expand it one more because this is a 5-inch square and a 10-inch square. So we're going to start with that. We're going to start with that here. So what we're going to do is, this is the 5-inch square, and I've added a little fun transfer into there because I think it's cool. It's like a 3D thing, So what I need to do is I need to find the center of this 10-inch square because we want to make sure that we get the center of that square. So I'm going to fold this in half like this, and I'm just going to hand fold it, press it down. That way we can find that center. And I'm going to fold that one down here. And I'm just hand pressing it. So just hand pressing it. That way you can see that it gives you the center there. So we find the center on that one. So then I need to find the center on this one. So we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to fold it in half again. That way we get the center, and that way we can line up that center right there in the center there. And I'm just going to line up the lines there. Okay. So, and I'm going to bring y'all a little closer here. So what we're doing is, so we've gotten this one into the center. So now what we need to do, this is, good morning, and happy Tuesday, y'all. So what we're doing is we have 5-inch square, 10-inch square. I've got the 5-inch square centered in the middle of the 10-inch square. So now what we're going to do is, this is where we go. So this is what we're doing. It makes it kind of cool, y'all, kind of cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fold this top down, and you're going to fold it up and line it up with that top seam right there. You're going to just line that up with that top seam right there and fold that down. Fold that down there, and I'm just going to give it a little press here. Just give it a little press. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do that side, and I'm going to turn it around, and we're going to press this side down too. Again, you have that 5-inch square, 10-inch square to go, and then you're folding this down right on the edge, raw edge of that 5-inch square. Right there on the edge of that 5-inch square, and we're going to press that down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch right across the top here, and we're going to stitch right across the top here. So let's go over to that sewing machine so we can get that stitched. And I think, you know what, we can do let's play with the Husky today. We're going to play with Husky today. That way we don't have to send y'all in circles here. That way we don't have to send you in circles. So we're going to play over here with the Husky. We're going to play over here. Come on, turn on. She's like, I'm still waking up here this morning. I'm still waking up. Don't forget your coffee, y'all. Don't forget your coffee. Get your coffee out and have a drink this morning. Have a drink of coffee. I got peppermint mocha creamer. What kind of coffee do y'all like? Where are we all at this morning? Where are we all at this morning? I am in Arizona. It is bright and early, 4:42 here this morning. So good morning to y'all if I haven't said good morning. So we're going to come over here. And like I said, we are going to do just a stitch down this line. So we've taken it to Missouri. Welcome from Missouri. Welcome Kentucky. It's 44 out there this morning. Very cool. So we're going to take and do a stitch down this side. And we're going to do a stitch down this side. North Carolina, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for joining the live this morning, y'all. Okay, so we're just going to do a straight stitch down, Hiss. And I need to... She likes to go in full speed when you turn her on, so we're going to turn her down a little bit. And I need a starter and a stopper. So I always put, anybody new to my lives, I always have a starter and a stopper on my, when I stitch. And it keeps your fabric from bunching when you start and stop. So I just take a piece of fabric and I start it on there. And then I have another one that I'll stop with. So good morning from Maryland, Texas. Good morning, y'all. North Carolina. Welcome, welcome to the live, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stitch this down. Get this side stitched down. I'm going to bring that piece of fabric over. Like I said, I have a starter and a stopper on there. Trim that. And it keeps your fabric from bunching at the start and stop of it. So, and we're going to go to the other side and we're going to stitch this one down. And then we'll go back to that pressing mat and I'll show you what we're going to do there. So we're going to stitch this side here. I think this is going to be a fun square, y'all. This is going to be a fun square. Today we are learning how to do different squares. This is different quilt squares that y'all can make quick, really quick quilts. You know, you got somebody that says, hey, I need a quilt next week. Holy cow, next week. Are you kidding me? No, Kansas City. Welcome, Kansas City. How are y'all? How are y'all? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so what we've done is we had a 10-inch square, and we took a 5-inch square and centered it in the middle of that 10-inch square. So then we took and we folded the fabric down to the raw edge of that of the 5-inch square on both sides, and we have stitched that down. We've stitched that down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold that open. We're going to fold this open and press it down and fold this side open and press it down. Then we'll get to the next side. So let's go ahead and press this down. So I'm going to fold that down like that. And fold that side. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I have a transfer on there and I can't iron on top of that transfer. So I'm going to just put another piece on there. That way it doesn't melt my transfer. I like the transfers, but sometimes when you're trying to press the seams, press that one down, you just throw another piece of fabric on. It works. It works. Okay, so press that one down. Okay, so we're looking cool so far. We are looking cool so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the other sides and we're going to fold them over to that raw edge again. We're going to fold them over to that raw edge again. So we're going to come over this way. Right there on that raw edge. Let me see if I can get there. So you have your raw edge here. We're going to fold this way right to the raw edge and we're going to press it down again. Because we're going to go back to the sewing machine and we're going to sew that. We are going to sew that. So I'm going to press that down right there. And turn it around the other way. And we're going to do that again. So we're going to fold it over right to the raw edge of that 5-inch square there. Right to the raw edge and give it a press. Give it a press. So we've got each one. Good morning, Miss Cynthia. Good morning, Renee. So we've got each side pressed. So now we're going to go back and we're going to stitch this side and we're going to go and stitch this side here. So let's go back over here. Stitch here, right here. This side stitched. That way, and then turned around, we're going to stitch that other side down. morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining, y'all. Thanks for joining. Okay. So back to the pressing mat. Back to the pressing mat. We got a flash goal this morning. What's our flash goal? Da-doom. Da-doom. Okay. So we have now stitched this across here and this across here. So now we're going to go ahead and press that open. Thank you. Good morning, Miss Shannon. Good morning. How are you? How are you? So now we're going to take over to the pressing mat. Hey, Renee. So we are going to press this open. And again, we got to use that other piece of fabric. Get that one pressed here. And then we're going to turn it around. We're going to press this one open. Okay. So now we have made this quilt square. And we can stop here, but I decided somebody the other day, we had made this square the other day, and they're like, hey, we could add another square to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go a step further. We're going to give the purple on the outside. We're going to go to the purple outside. So what did we do when we started this? We found the center of the fabric. So we're going to fold this, and we're going to find the center of this fabric again. We're going to find the center of this fabric again. So I'm going to fold it that way, and then I'm going to take and fold it this way. That way we find that center right there. That way we find that center right there. Come back over this way. And I'm just hand pressing this. I'm just hand pressing this. That way when we open it up, we see those seams right there. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. So we're going to fold it in half because we want to find the center of this one also. So we're going to fold this one in half. We're just finding, we're going to fold that one. That one, my center is marked from last time. So we're going to go over here and kind of line this up. So now we're going to do the same thing again. So we are going to take, let me come over this way just a little bit. There we go. So now we have this one centered on top of the purple one. So now we're going to fold over the purple one, kind of like we did on the other one. So just kind of expand this square out just a little bit further. So we're going to take this purple raw edge and go to the raw edge. We're going to go raw edge over to there. We're going to press that down. Press that down there. I'm going to turn it around this way. And so you have your raw edge right here. I'm going to pop y'all off there for a minute so you can see a little bit closer. I always try and figure out how I can get you guys to see a little closer. So you have your raw edge of your fabric right here. And what we're doing is we're folding this right over to the edge of that raw edge. So and you can see on this one, so it's right there at that raw edge and you're folded right there, because what we're going to do is we're going to stitch right across here, kind of like we did on this one. So now it's just going to expand that square out some. It's going to expand that square. So let me hoop y'all. I'm always hooping y'all here. Hooping y'all, hooping y'all. Put you up there. So let me fold this one down. We're going to fold that one down there. Now we're going to go over to the sewing machine, and because we're going to stitch across here and we're going to stitch across there. So let's go back this way. Go back this way. Quilt squares, y'all. We're making quilt squares today. So we're going to stitch across this one here. And you can just keep expanding on this square. So we did a 5-inch square and a 10-inch square, and now we're doing a 12-inch square on top of the square we just did. And I mean, you could go up to, your next one would probably be like a 15-inch square. He said you just keep expanding from there, so. Take this one. This is fun colors, y'all. All right, so now we'll go back to the pressing bat and we're going to press this. Arizona. I am in Arizona. All right, here we go. Here we go. So we've sewn that down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press that open. Ooh, this is looking cool, y'all. This is looking cool. So now we are going to press this one open. Well, that's weird. That's AI asking me where I'm from. Yeah, I think AI is talking to me. Did y'all see that? Okay, so we're going to press this one down. I'm going to turn it around the other way, and we're going to press that one open. Now we're going to turn it back. So this is looking cool. This is looking cool. So now we're going to come over this way, and right there on that raw edge, we're going to fold that down right across that raw edge. Right across the raw edge there. So we're going to come down this way. Press that down. It's like, no, I don't want to press down there. We're going to flip it around this way, and we're going to press it down again. We're going to press that one down again. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we'll go back over to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch down these two sides. And then thank you, Miss Lisa, for joining. Thank you for joining. So we're going to stitch down these two sides, and this square will be done, y'all. This square will be done. All right. So let's come back over this way. We're going to stitch this one. We're going to see what size square we end up with. I don't know what size square we're going to end up with here. Go to the other side, stitch this one down. And then we'll go press these open and see what we got. What do you guys think about this square? What do you think about this square? So we're going to press this one open. What do you think? Let me turn this way. You have to drive the school bus. Oh my gosh, you're brave. You are brave. This is cool. What do you think, y'all? And look, and it has like squares. It shows like squares in the corners. And that was fairly easy, right? That was a fairly easy square. So we started with a 5-inch square, a 10-inch square, and grew to a 12-inch square. And let's measure it. Let's measure it and see how big this square is. I'm kind of liking this one, y'all. I don't know. I'm kind of liking this one. So let's measure it. Let's measure and see how big this square is. And then we'll move on to the next square. We will move on to that next square. So we're going to measure this. So this ends up being a 10-inch square, y'all. It literally ends up being a 10-inch square. Oh my gosh. So you could literally, hold on. I'm going to grab, because I can't help myself, just to see what it's going to look like. Just to see what it'll look like. Because if I was to take, so it has that yellow in there. So if I was to take a yellow inch square and sew I just want to see what it looks like. Good morning. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Off Kilter. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. So let's see. I'm going to sew a 10-inch square to that because I want to see, because if you made this square and then kind of surrounded it with the other 10-inch squares just to see. Let's see. So I'm going to sew this on here. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Good morning, Miss Amy. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to stitch this. Let's stitch this on here right quick. Just to say, because I want to see. Because I have a feeling, y'all, this might be cool. This might be a cool way to make a quilt. Then we'll move on to the next square. Then we'll move on to that next square. Okay. So let's see. Da-doom, da-doom. All right. Let's go ahead and press it. Yes, we are doing various quilt blocks today, y'all. We're doing various quilt blocks. So let me press this seam open right quick, and we're going to see. I just wanted to see what it would look like to have a plain one off to the side, y'all. Off to the side. You know, that way we'll know if we want to do a quilt this way. That way we'll know. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. I think it might be okay. What do y'all think? I'm excited. I'm excited. Yay? Nay? Yeah, I think it's cool. Right? That is fun. Okay. So there's number one. There is number one. So let's move on to the next quilt square. Let's move on to that next quilt square, y'all. That was a fun one to make. That was a fun one to make. Fairly easy. Fairly easy. That's my goal, is to show y'all some easy quilt squares today. Some easy quilt squares today. Okay. So next quilt square. Let's go move on to the next one. We're going to make a stack. We'll come back to these. We're going to make a stack. So I'm going to put you right there on the embroidery machine. Next mug rug I'm making, y'all. Next mug rug. That one's going to be fun. Okay. We need to have an embroidery day. We need to have an embroidery day of making mug rugs, because I love mug rugs. I love mug rugs. It's too much fun. Okay. So next square we're going to make. Let's have fun with this next square. So next square we're going to make, we're going to take, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. So I'm going to take a white square, or a green square and a white square, and I'm going to sew it together. And so what we're going to do is we're literally going to go boom, 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 boom. We're going to sew all four sides together. You're like, you're sewing it together? How are we going to do that? I will show y'all. I will show y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a green one and a purple one with a white. Green and purple with white. So we are going to sew all these together. Are you guys okay with this, with the view of the sewing machine, or do we need closer, or are we okay? Because you good with that, or I just want to make sure. You're okay? Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So now, like I said, we're going to take these 10-inch squares. We're going to boom, boom. Thank you for the heart me. You got to say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And oh, you're very welcome. Did you like them? They're awesome, right? I'm glad you like the quilts and the mug rugs. I had to include a special gift for you. So we're going to sew all the way around this, y'all. So let's go ahead and sew around both sides. So I have white on one side and I have the purple on the other side, right sides together on there, y'all. So let's go ahead and stitch these together. Turn it this way. Turning. We're always turning, y'all. We're always turning. Turn it this way. That white one's, that was a layer cake that I had got, but it seems like that white one's just a little off on the size. Either that one or the colored ones are a little bigger, but that's right. I'm going by the colored ones, so we're good. So we're gonna get this one sewed. Let me trim that one off there. Okay, so we have that one sewed. Now we're sewing 2 of them sandwiched right sides together all the way around. So let's go ahead and sew the other one. Yes, it's absolutely for you. Absolutely for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and sew this one together. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. They smell so good. Okay. So we have green and white. So right sides together. I know the white doesn't have a right side, but that's okay. So we're going to sew these right side together. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to have some fun, y'all. We're going to go here and have some fun. So let's go ahead and stitch these together. Hopefully your Monday went good. Did everybody have a good Monday? Mine was fairly busy, but it was okay. It was okay. Turn it this way. Turn it this way. So we'll get these stitched together and then we'll go over to the cutting mat because we're going to be cutting, y'all. Because you're sitting there going, okay, you guys, you've sewed these completely together. How is that even going to work? How is that even going to work? But it does. And these this one gives you so many different options on a square. You have so many different options, which is so cool. Okay, so back over here. Your Monday was crazy. Ah, yes, trust the process. Okay, so we've now sewed 2 squares completely together. You're like, how's that going to work? How's that going to work? Let me show you. So we're going to take our handy dandy cutting mat here. Handy dandy cutting mat. So we're going to go over here and you're going to take, let me put this here. So what we're going to do is you're going to take that ruler. You're going to take your handy dandy ruler and you're going to go corner to corner. Corner to corner, y'all. Corner to corner. You take your, and you're going to cut. And you're going to go corner to corner here. We're going to go ahead and do both of them. Then we'll press them open and then we'll look at them. Then we'll press them open, look at them. So now we have this one. You're just going to go corner to corner on there. Corner to corner, y'all. And this is where it's going to get fun because this green, I don't know. That green and purple quilt square we did the other day, I'm still wanting to do something with that one. So we decided. I'm saying you guys decided with me, but I decided to have fun with the green and purple again today. So why not, right? Why not? Okay. So now what we'll do is we're going to press these open because look what that does. So that ends up purple and white. Love that. Love this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to press these seams open. We're going to press these open. Doing some pressing here. Iron is going to get its work today. The iron is gonna get its worth today. So we have that one. We're gonna press a couple of the different colors here. We're gonna press a couple of the different colors because I'm excited. I'm excited on this one. There's like a few, like I said, there's a few different ways that you can actually piece this. I think you can end up with like 4 different blocks on this, like 4 different blocks. So we'll go ahead and get all these pressed open. My goal is today is to show y'all easy quilt squares that you can use and make a quick and easy quilt. Make a quick and easy quilt out of these. So we're going to do this one, and then once we get done with this one, the next one we're going to do is an X block quilt, and that one's done with 3 3¼ inch strips. These are done with 10-inch squares. I mean, and you could literally use any size square. It doesn't have to be a 10-inch square. You could use a 5-inch square. You could use a 10-inch square, a 12-inch square, however you want to. So if you send me a message, are you looking for these? If you're looking for these, send me a message. Is that what you're looking for, Kate? I will give you the info if you send me a message there. Okay, so there is that. So we're going to get these pressed. Get that these are pressed. There's that one. So we got 2 more here. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Always willing to share. Always willing to share. Okay. So now we have a few options. Now we have a few options. Yes. Okay. So we have green. So I'm thinking we could have some fun. We could do it this way. So you could have that square. That would be a fun square. You could do, I mean, we could do white. You could do it that way. You could do it this way. Yeah, there is so many different squares that you could do with this. So many different squares. So let's do, so you could do a purple there and do a purple here. Y'all, look at all the different options you can do just by doing two 10-inch squares. Just by doing 2 10-inch squares. You could literally do this and then this right here. You have those out there, sewed that together. You could add a fun, let's grab something. Let's just grab something. Let's see what we got here. Let's grab him out of here. And grab him. So you could add like a fun thing into the middle. So we could sew this together. Shall we do that? How about we do that? After it's all sewed, I do the best press thing. So what do you think about this? Okay. Let's do that. And then we have another one. We can do 2 squares. We can do 2 squares here. So I'm thinking this one. I'm liking this one. And then the next one, we'll do some colors in for it. We'll do some colors. Thank you for the heart, me. And y'all, we need to drink coffee. Let's take a break and drink a drink of coffee. Quilting mug rugs. Ask about fabric. What is that? Do y'all see that? Is that there? It keeps popping up. It says AI quilting mug rugs. Ask about fabric. That is so weird. That is so weird. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of it. Okay. Weird. Okay. So I'm gonna fold it down this way, and I'm gonna fold it down this way. And remember the clips. Remember what I do with the clips. Oh, okay. So we're going to take clips. So on the side that you're going to sew, we're going to put 2 clips on this side. And then on the side that we're going to have to sandwich together on the other one, we're going to put 1 clip. This is so we remember where we're going to stitch it. So 2 clips on this side. And then we're going to take 1 clip on this side. So when we go to the sewing machine, we know that we're going to stitch across the top, and then once we do that, we'll open it up and we'll know where to sandwich it. Because, y'all, I did it this morning. I didn't use the clips, and I ended up stitching around down the wrong side. Didn't work out very well, y'all. So, I know I'm going to stitch here. So, we're going to go right across here. We're going to stitch across the top on this one. Stitch across the top on that one. And then here is this one, 2 clips. And we're going to stitch across the top of that one. Across the top on that one. So this is why we have the 1 clips. This is why we had the 1 clips. So with the 1 clips here, we're like, because you've got 4 sides. Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate you, Shannon. Thank you. So we have the 1 clips because otherwise you have 4 sides. You're like, oh my gosh, what sides do I sandwich together? Now we know. So we're going to take this side. So this top side here. And I'm going to use me as my sandwich here. So here is the other side that we're going to, the crowns are cool, right? So we're going to sandwich these 2 together right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I'm just going to press that seam open right there with my finger. Press that seam open and press this seam open here. And we're going to clip it on there. Clip it on there right quick. Da-doom, da-doom. Put a clip. All right, now we're going to stitch it across here. So we're going to just stitch that one. And this is a fairly easy quilt square, right, y'all? Fairly easy quilt square. Okay, so we'll go back and we'll press that seam open. And then we'll add, what do you think about this quilt square? What are you thinking? Let's press that there. We're going to press this open. I'm kind of liking the white in the middle. I kind of like the white in the middle. Turn you over, turn you over. We're gonna spray a little here. Okay, y'all. Oh, I forgot to turn you. I apologize. So this is the quilt square, but let's go ahead and add that transfer to the middle. Let's go ahead and add the transfer. What do you think about this quilt square, right? And how easy was that? How easy was that? I apologize, I didn't turn you over there that. So we're going to take him. We're going to center him in here because he's fun. He's just fun. I have too much fun with these, y'all. I have too much fun with these. Because these little guys are just too much fun. Too much fun on these. Add a little something different to your quilts or your bags, because you guys can make bags with these. So many different things. It's like, nope, not coming up yet. Then we'll take another one and press on top. I'm going to use you. I'm going to use you. Just to set him in. Just to set him in there. Alrighty, guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh my gosh, he's darling. Look at that, guys. Look how cute. How cute. How cute. How cute is he? Oh my gosh, what am I going to do with him? Now we're going to have to figure out, right? I'm like in love with this guy. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a cute baby quilt, y'all. Wouldn't that be like a really cute baby quilt? Very cute. Very cute. Okay. So let's go ahead and sew the other one together. We'll get the other one sewed together. Because I'm thinking on the other one. Yeah, I'm kind of in love with him too. I'm like, yeah, he's cute. So on the other one, let's do this. I'm thinking we add some color. I'm thinking we do some color on this one. So I'm thinking this one, we do this. What do you think? Shall we do that one now? Because we can sew it together that way, and then we'll move on to the next square. Definitely. Okay. Sewing it this way. So, remember, we're going to fold it this way. Fold it this way. And I use my clips. So 2 clips where I'm sewing. 1 clip where it's got a sandwich together, because these two have got a sandwich together after we sew the 2 sides. So we're going to put 1 clip here so we remember which side to do that. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to put 1 clip on the side that we need to sandwich, 2 clips on the side that we're going to sew. 2 clips on the side. Okay, so we're ready back to the sewing machine. Thanks for the heart me's, y'all, and thanks for hanging out this morning. We are having some fun. I am having fun this morning. Y'all having fun this morning? I'm having fun. Anytime we're sewing, we're having fun, right? Anytime we're sewing, we're having fun. Why not, y'all? Why not? Okay, so 2 clips where we're sewing. So we're going to take those 2 clips off. We are going to sew this together. Make sure it's lined up here. Make sure it's lined up. You know, it's funny. Every square I make, I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. No, that one's my favorite. It's like every one is like my favorite one. I don't know. I don't know. Anytime I'm sewing with y'all, I'm having fun. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? Y'all, I signed up for an embroidery class next week in the Valley. And y'all, it wasn't very much at all. And it's a one-day class, and you get a big bonus too if you go. So very cool. Quilt Square tutorial. Ask about rag stocking. Okay. AI's having fun this morning, y'all. Thank you for the heart, me. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. Okay. So we're gonna stitch this one. Stitch this one across. Okay. So we've got these two stitched. And we have the one. Good morning, Beverly. Yes. Yes, Miss Amy. So, like I said, it's in the Valley, and anybody wanting to go, let me know. If you're in the Valley, I can send you the information. They only have so many seats available. So here we have these clips. So this is the clip where we know, ouch, that we're going to sandwich it together. So I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to use my table here. I got my table. And so we have this clip up here, so we know that we're going to sandwich. But I'm going to share all the information, Miss Amy. I will share everything I learned, y'all. We'll have to do an embroidery day. We're going to have to do a few embroidery days. So we're going to sandwich that one together because we had the clips right there. So y'all will benefit from me going and doing this class. Y'all are going to benefit from me going and doing the class because I'm going to share everything I learned. I like to share with y'all. I like to share. Okay, so we're going to clip these together. I like to line up the seam. I open the seams. That way that center kind of lines up correctly. So line you up here. I'm going to put a clip right there in the middle. Put a clip right there in the middle. So then we are going to stitch this across. I'm kind of liking the colors in the middle, y'all. Kind of liking the colors in the middle. Stitching this one across. Make sure that's lined up. You can actually clip it all the way across if you feel more comfortable doing that, or you can just kind of line it up, eyeball it. So either way works. Either way works. Okay. So now we'll go back over here and we'll get this one pressed open. Get this one pressed open. Just a pressing, just a pressing. Tomorrow's Christmas stocking. We're doing Christmas stocking tomorrow, y'all. I did not find my cutter for that, so we may be winging it tomorrow, y'all. But we are going to do the rag quilt. We're going to do it as a rag quilt. So I'm going to get squares cut up this evening when I get home. I thought I had one, but I don't know what I did with it. So I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so we have now done this square. Y'all, check this out. Want to see something cool? How cool would that be together? See? Nice, Miss Cynthia. So that was a fun, easy square. Was that not a fun, easy square? So it was two 10-inch squares. So you took a white 10-inch square and a green 10-inch square, and then you did a purple 10-inch square and a white 10-inch square, and you sandwiched both those together. You cut them in half, and y'all, look at the possibilities, the different possibilities. And here is a couple more that I did. Same thing, y'all. Same thing. So many different possibilities with two 10-inch squares. So many different possibilities that you can do. So fun. Get those 10-inch squares out, y'all. Get the 10-inch squares out and have some fun with it. Okay, so next we're moving to a next block. We're going to move to a next block for the next one. So this one, if you want info, message me. If you want info on this one. So this is a 7-inch, and you see there's lines across it. So I'll show you how those lines work. I'll show you how the lines work on there. So we are going to, so we had fun with this one. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? I'm having fun. This is fun. So now you have 2 different quilts that you can throw together like quick. Those are going to be really quick ones. Really quick ones. Thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this is fun. At 6:30, Miss Kate, at 6:30, or not 6:30, sorry, 4:30. I started at 4:30 Arizona Town Mountain Standard Time. Where are you at, Miss Kate? Thank you, Miss Dolly. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to, so we have two of these squares that we can actually make. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have 2 squares that we can, Michigan. Nova Scotia. Oh my gosh, you are my first from Nova Scotia, Kate. So, well, thank you for joining the live. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So now what we're going to do is these are 3 3/4 inches wide. 3 3/4 inches wide here. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take and we're going to sew all 3 of these strips together. So I have a green strip, a pink strip, and depending on what color of strips you use is depending on how it's going to turn out, y'all. So we're going to sew all 3 of these strips together. And I'm thinking, I don't know. So whatever strip you have on the outside is the actual, hold on, let me show you. So let me show you. So this is the block we're making. This is the block we're making. So the strip that you have on the outside is the color that is going to be on the inside. So what we're going to do, I'm thinking I'm liking the green. I don't know. I'm on a green kick this morning. Y'all like the green? I'm thinking I'm on a green kick this morning. So I'm thinking I'm going to do green on the outside, green and pink on the outside. That way we can do a green one of these and a pink one of these. So yeah, I'm thinking the green. So I'm thinking green. Here comes the puzzle piece. We got to do the puzzle piece, y'all. Come on, pop up, pop up. It's like, come on, thank you. Pop up. There we go. Try you again. Gotcha. Okay, we're good. Okay. So now what we're going to do, like I said, we want to have that green on the outside. So we're going to sandwich this together. We're going to sandwich this together. And what we're going to do is we're just going to sew a stream. We're going to sew a stream. We're going to sew a seam all the way down. And then we're going to open it up and sew the other one to this side. Because, like I said, the one on the outside is the color that you're going to end up with that triangle or that starburst. We'll call it a starburst. We'll call it a starburst there. So we're going to come over here and you can pin these together if you want, however you want to do it. But make sure this is good. So we're sewing again, these strips are 3 3/4 inches wide. 3 3/4 inches. I'm gonna go here. I just keep stopping to make sure it's lined up. Just want to make sure that it's lined up on there because I've had the issue before. It's like I'm just stitching along and then I take it off the sewing machine and then lo and behold, the bottom one is not lined up and didn't get stitched. So I was like, well, that didn't work out very well, did it? All right, so get this one. And we'll be able to make a couple squares squares. Okay, here's that one. So this is where you want to pay attention. You got to be careful on this one. So we've got the green on the outside. So now we want to make sure, need more coffee, yes. Quilting, AccuQuilt squares, share tips. Okay. Y'all, it's talking to me this morning. Okay. So here is the pink one. Here is the pink one. So we want to make sure that we stitch on the blue one because you want to make sure that we come over here, because if I stitch on the green one will no longer be on the outside. We want to make sure that we keep that one on the outside. So we're coming over here. Oh my gosh, it's going crazy, Miss Amy. I'm like, I didn't talk to you. Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me? It's like talking to me this morning. It's alive? I think so. I think so. Hey, as long as it's nice, I'm okay with it. As long as it stays nice. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? We are having fun making quilt squares. We're learning how to make multiple different quilt squares. Yeah, it is. It's having fun sewing with this. So if it wants to have fun and I'm okay with it, I invite everybody. I invite everybody. And I'm excited we have Miss Kate from Nova Scotia. That is so exciting. So I'm excited to have you in my life because you were the first one from there. So awesome, awesome. All right. So now we're going to sew this one here. Get this one sewed. And then we got to press those seams open and then we're going to do some cutting. I'm going to show y'all how that ruler works. The ruler is the trick on this, y'all. That ruler is the trick. Sew that down. Just remember to stop every once in a while. Make sure that your fabric is lined up there, y'all. Make sure your fabric, and make sure you're not stitching that other side either. I don't want to have the seam ripper out this morning. Ta-doom, ta-doom. And oh my gosh, I have made the mistake of sewing the strip to the wrong side of the fabric too. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I got one seam on one side and one seam on the other side on the other one. So that's not any fun. Ta-doom, ta-doom. Stitch this one down just to keep a stitching, just to keep a stitching. If you're doing a whole quilt on these, it sews together fairly quick. Yes, I did, Miss Amy. So 3 3/4 inches. 3 3/4 inches the strips are. So actually, it's funny on my cutting mat. We have another one we can do. On my cutting mat, I actually have it marked with nail polish where the 3/4 at, so I can actually cut a few of them. Because yeah, I went on a trip for a while and cut a bunch of these strips. We cut a bunch of these strips. So now what we're gonna do is and these you want to press these seams open. These you want to press the seams open on these. So we're definitely gonna press them open. So we're gonna get these. Yeah, because like I said, for the longest time, I'm like, I don't know what 3/4 is. I'm like, Derek, you got to come help me. Tell me what 3/4 is. So, but now that I learned what the 3/4 is, well, now I got to turn my iron on, get it heated back up here, y'all. Now that I learned what the 3/4 is, and I think I showed y'all the other day. So yes, pressing the seams open. So on here, you have those 1/4 inches. So you have, because here is the first, there's your first 1/4 inch. your 1/2 inch, your 3/4 inch, and then your inch. So each one of these is a quarter. Each one of those is a quarter. So I'm like, oh my gosh, now I know what a 3/4 inch is. So I don't know. I'm not a math genius. I'm not a math genius. So, but that's where your 3/4, and you see it. It's all over, right? And this one is the same. So if you look on this one, you see you've got the blue. So you have your start, your quarter, your 1/2, your 3/4, and then the inch. They all have them. So, oh, it totally, Miss Amy, totally different. So, okay. So now we're going to press these seams. We're going to get these pressed. This is going to be a fun quilt square. This is going to be a fun one. Get this pressed. We're going to press both of them at the same time here. Press both of them at the same time. If you don't press, you have to press these before you cut them. You have to press before you cut, because if you don't, they don't cut evenly. So keep going here. This is cool. I found this fabric this weekend. And I'm kind of liking, oh my gosh! Yay, that is awesome, Miss Robin. That is awesome. Very cool. Congratulations. That is cool. And I loved that butterfly. That is cool. Very cool. That is so awesome. Pressing the seams open. Pressing the seams open. Now to quilt it. Miss Robin, I got faith. I got faith. How are you going to quilt it? Are you going to freehand Miranda it? Meander. Thanks for the heart me, Miss Debbie. Thank you. Okay, so now we have it all pressed out. And y'all, look at this strip. Is that not gorgeous? That is some gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I almost lined up the lines. You see that? Not sure how I did that, but that was pretty daggum close, right? Pretty close on lining those lines up. I couldn't have done that if I tried to, right? So now this is where a rotary mat, right? This is where a rotary mat comes into play when you're doing this X block. Thank you, Miss Amy. When you're doing an X block, this is where this one comes into play. So you're going to take and you're going to line it up. You're going to lay it down just like this. Then you have this square and it's got lines. So you're going to take that line and I'll pop y'all off there and so you can see this. There. Excuse me. Sneezing. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all because you got to line this up. This is the trick. So you see the lines? This is where the lines, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have, thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. So it doesn't have to be perfect on there, but you have to kind of line it up as good as you can, because then what you're going to do is you're going to trim here, you're going to trim here, and trim here. So that's where your block comes out. That is where the block comes out. So let me show you how we cut this. I'm going to hoop y'all back in here. Get y'all hooped back in here. And I'm going to move y'all a little closer here down. That way you can see. Damn. Okay. So I'm going to use this one. So we're going to go cut there. And then you're going to hold your hand down on here and turn it. And I have gripper stuff on my mat. So I'm going to trim there. And then so we have our first square. Now we're going to go, kind of does, Robin. Kind of does. It's kind of cool. So now we're going to lay this here. And then you just keep going down. So you line up those lines again right there on that edge. Like I said, this is where your rotary mat comes into play, because otherwise you're walking around the table. I didn't have a rotary mat for the longest time, and you walked around the table. You're like, okay, just keep walking, just keep a walking. Quilting butterfly top. Discuss plaid patterns. AI's talking to us again, y'all. This is funny. Okay. There's that one. Right, Miss Robin? I love this thing. Good morning, good morning. Oh my gosh, we have to do the dory block, Miss Cynthia. You're right. I need to do the dory block. Yeah, if you don't have one, and there's all kinds of different companies that make these. I've had this one for years, y'all. I got this one when I got my table. So, luckily my table goes up and down, because otherwise my drawers that I just made would have never fit. So I think we can get 2 more. Thinking we can get 2 more here. So there's 1. Can we get 1 more? Can we get 1 more? Come on. Give me 1 more, y'all. Give me 1 more block. Can I have 1 more block? Can I have 1 more block, please? Please. We're getting 1 more block. We are getting 1 more block. Yay! All right. So this is where we have fun. This is where we, so there's a couple different ways that you can put this one together too. Oh, yeah. Oh, totally, Miss Robin. That would probably be like that. Thank you, Miss Bessie. And I sent you your tracking information too, Miss Bessie. So I'm thinking, like I said, I was thinking that we do, because like I said, I'm going to show y'all the different squares that we can do. So, oh my gosh, that is cool, y'all. This is kind of cool. So we have, let me move you up there. So y'all, how cool is that? This is kind of cool. But we can change it up. We can change it up. We can do, put pink here. Like I said, whatever that outside fabric is on your strip is what's going in the middle. Whatever the outside fabric is going in the middle. So you could do, like this one is kind of cool too. Or we could do black, or we can put pink in the middle. It is so much fun that when you do these, you have so many different options. So many different options on them. Right? It's a fun fabric. It is a fun fabric here this morning. But there's another way. So if we take and go, trying to remember, we could go, oh, yes. So we could go that way. So we could also do this. I don't know. Which way is the coolest, y'all? I mean, how cool is that? Right? I do too. I don't think I've ever done one like this. How about we sew it together like this? I think we're gonna do it this way. I think we're gonna do it this way. We have some more strips we can sew together. We can do another one, y'all. We can do another one. So we're gonna fold it this way. Remember, 2 clips. I know, right? I can't decide either. That's why y'all get to help me. So we're gonna put 2 clips on the side we're sewing, 1 clip on the side we're sandwiching, 1 clip on the side we're sandwiching here, and then we're gonna put 2 clips on this side. Then we're gonna put 1 clip on this side. 1 clip here. So we got 2 and 1, and then 2 and 1. So let's sew these right quick. Good morning. How's Miss Mandy this morning? How is Miss Mandy? All right. So we're gonna sew these. So remember, the ones that's got the 2 is the first one we're sewing. On this side. Good. Doing good this morning. We're having fun making squares this morning. We've made a few different squares. My goal this morning was to show how to do easy quilt squares that you can make a quick and easy quilt. Quick and easy quilt. Okay, so here's our ones. Yeah, I do too. I totally forget because I'm like, wait a minute, which way does it get sandwiched? So you always put 2 on the side you're stitching and then 1 on the side that's going to get sandwiched. So what I do is I take this one, so I know that it's going to get stitched on this side. So I take this one, open it up here. I use myself as the table. So I'm going to take that one off there. So I know it's going to get stitched right across here. So then I'm going to take this one here because there's that one. And it's going to get stitched across there. So I sandwich those together before I forget. Y'all. So we're going to open the seams up, sandwich those together. Open those seams up right there. Open. Okay, so I'm going to clip those right there. Okay, so now we're going to stitch across there. And y'all, this is the quilt that I use that, like if somebody wants me to do like a graduation quilt or something, I will do this quilt square, and the middle of I'll show you here in a minute, on that middle square is where I put embroideries. Because what I do is I'll take and get like quotes from the parents, the grandparents, the friends, anybody that's wanting to do a quote, you know, just as a, you know, I pin the size. Oh, yeah, that works too. That totally works. So many different, you know, we all learn from each other on here. But what I do is I take and do embroideries in the middle of that square of all the quotes. You know, it's, you know, I've done so many different ones. I've done religious ones. I've done fun ones. One of them I did that all the friends put quotes in there, you know. So, and if the student is going off to college or off to the military, you know, they start missing home. But if they have that quilt with them that's got all those quotes on it that from people at home, it makes them not miss home as much. So it's kind of cool. I started doing those years and years ago. This one, I'm kind of liking this, guys. Nice choice. Nice choice. Okay. Quilt Squares fabric choices. Suggest a pattern. Okay, I'll suggest a pattern. Here is the pattern that I'm thinking. What do y'all think? So, I said, with this one, so this is your other option you have with these. So there's so many different options that you can do with these. I'm liking this fabric. I'm kind of liking this fabric. It's kind of cool. It almost looks like a candy cane, kind of. I don't know, right? So fun. Yeah, it turned out cool. It turned out really cool. All right, I have one more square to show you. Y'all want to see the last square? Send me a message. Send me a message. I don't know if it's written on the site. Send me a message and I can let you know. Okay, let's do the last square. We have one more square to do. One more square to do. So we've learned 3 different squares, and y'all, I think those are pretty good. Doesn't it? It does, Nancy. It does look like one piece of fabric. It's kind of cool. Oh, how cool is that, Robin? That is so cool. Thank you, Miss Amy. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Add this one too. Isn't it fun? Just depending on what colors you use as to what it turns out to be. So, like I said, the strip that you have on the outside ends up that middle square. And this like I said, this square right here is a perfect place to put in borderies. A perfect place to put in borderies and specialize that quilt. So, yeah. It does, right? It does. Kind of cool. So, fun. X block, y'all. X block. All right. Let's go ahead and move to the last square. We have one more square to do here, y'all. One more square. So, last square we're doing, we're going to sew some squares together again. We're going to sew some squares together. So, we have 2 squares, right sides together. We're going to go right sides because we're going to use some gingham and some flowers here. Oh, it would. Oh, hey, we may have to do a bag. We might have to do a bag on that one. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to sew all the way around. We're going to sew all the way around on this one. So this is probably the easiest quilt square you're going to do today. This is probably the easiest one. That would be pretty with Christmas pictures. Oh, that would be phenomenal, Mandy. That would be so cute. I might have something we can put in the middle of there here in a minute. Okay, so let's sew around there. Da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. Just keep stitching. So we're doing the same thing we did with that, I think it's the second square we did. We're stitching all the way around. We're going to stitch it all the way around, y'all. That one there. Okay, so now we're going to come back over here. Absolutely, Miss Amy. We totally all work as a team because we all like to help each other. We all like to help each other. So now what we're going to do is, oh, I don't even need that. I don't even need that. We can use this. We're going to use this. So we're going to come back over this way. So we're going to take this right here. And I'm thinking we're going to have that in the middle. I think we're going to have that in the middle. We're going to come over here. I'm going to bring y'all this way. So I'm going to press that. So now what you need is you need a ruler and a pen, marker, pencil, fabric pen, whatever you have. So what we're going to take is we're going to go corner to corner, corner to corner, and you're going to take and draw that mark that way. You come turn it around this way. We're going to do the same thing. Corner to corner. And I know I've showed y'all this one before, but it's an easy square, y'all. It is an easy square. Scissor, where is my scissors? Where is my scissors? Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to raise y'all up a little bit. So you've drawn that X there. But what you want to do is you want to take and this is the fun part. You're going to grab, okay, I do too, right? So you're going to try and grab the two pieces of fabric, not together. I'm almost thinking this is the hardest part, is getting the two pieces apart because it wants to grab that one and that one. I thought I had it. And I was grabbing thin air. Ha, got it. Okay, yay. Oh, thank you, Robin. Okay, so you have this piece and this piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, because you don't want to cut both pieces, you want to cut one of them. So you have your line, and what you want to do is with your scissors, you just want to cut the very end of it, just big enough for your scissors to go in. Just big enough for that scissors to go in. Okay, so you got there, and then you're going to put your scissors in there, and you're going to see how much of a straight line you can cut. Just cut the straight line here. And you want to cut to the corner. So you're only cutting right to the corner. You don't want to cut your seam. You don't want to cut your seam on there. This is, I have to say, this is probably the easiest quilt block you're going to do. This is the easiest quilt block you're going to do, y'all. Cut all four sides. Thanks for the gifts, y'all. You guys are awesome. And we're at 26K. We're at 26K this morning. That is awesome, y'all. Da-doom, da-doom. Then we'll press this open. So come back this way. Yes, Robin, you can. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we have this one, so we're going to go this way. And these, you don't press the seams open. You don't press the seams open on these. But this is one of the easiest quilt squares you can do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to help. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but we're going to go ahead and trim. We're going to go ahead and trim these triangles off here. Trim the triangles off. I'm just going to use that. just going to use a small one. And this is something that you could put an embroidery or something in the middle of it too. Okay. This is cool. So we've had some fun squares today. What is y'all's favorite square? What is the favorite square you've done today? You have a dress that's baby blue and gingham. How cool. Right? So we've had this one. So all the squares you made. I don't know. So they're all fairly easy. They're all fairly easy. So we have this one, 2 10-inch squares. 2 10-inch squares. This one was 2 10-inch. Sewed it all together, drew a line across, and then pulled it apart and cut it out, and that was easy. This is the easy. I think this is the easiest one. That one is the easiest one. Then we did the X block. So the X block, I really like this one too. I don't know. We may have to do a bag out of that. We may have to do a bag out of this one. So this was 3 3/4 inch strips sewed together and then cut out with that ruler. And then it was cut out with that ruler. So made that one, but you had the option to do a couple of these other squares too. I may set this one aside. We may put Christmas, because I have some Christmas transfers. We may put that in there. So then we made, but these. So then we did this one. So we had fun with this square. I really like the purple. I like the purple. Do y'all like purple? Purple. So we did purple and green. And this is 2 10-inch squares. Cut. So you sewed 2 10-inch squares sandwiched together. Yes, purple. 2 10-inch squares sandwiched together. So a white strip or a white square and a purple square and a white square and a green square all sewed together and then cut in half. So it made this one. And then, I don't know, he may be my favorite today. He might be my favorite today. He's all swimming. He's a swimming. I kind of like that one. So thank you, Miss Amy. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you. So there's that one. Right? Is it not cute? It is totally cute. Then we did, yeah, we've had some fun this morning. And here's our first one we made. Here is the first one we made. I'm really liking this one. I am really liking this one, y'all. I don't know. I don't know which is my favorite. Like I said, I like all of them, right? That one's cool. That one's cool. Good morning, Miss Sherry. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. That is a circle. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Amy. So yeah, that is a circle one in there. So, and it's kind of cool. But let's go, let's take that, let's make this one a Christmas thing. Let's make it a Christmas thing because I have a fun Christmas thing to go in there. How is Miss Amy? Let's go that way. I have a whole bag of these handy dandy things. Oh, we could totally have fun. Anybody like Grinch? How about we put Grinch on there? Who likes the Grinch? Do we Grinch it? Okay. How about we do, okay. I think we do this one. All right. Let's do the Grinch. The Grinch, the Grinch. Okay. Put you down there. So we're going to press him on there. Right? Perfect colors. He totally matches. Totally matches. My iron is warming up right quick. This would be a cute bag, y'all. Would that not be a cute bag? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How fun, right? Your tree is all Grinch? Oh my gosh, how cool is that? How cool is that? Okay, so let's put you back in here. All right, here we go, guys. I'm excited, excited, excited. Too much fun. I don't know. I found these daggum DTF transfers, and y'all, it is too much fun. Too much fun on those. I think my press would probably work better, but I don't really have room. Don't really have room. This is cool. This one is cool. I didn't even realize I had him. Yep. I think it's cool. Perfect. 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 Awesome, awesome. That one turned out cool. Right? I think he may become a bag. I think he might become a bag. That one's exciting. Exciting, exciting. All right, we still got like 20 minutes. How about we work on my mug rug we got going? We've had some fun this morning. Right? Is that not cool, Shannon? That one is cool. We've had some cool ones today. Some very cool ones. So I'm thinking what we're going to do, because I'm out of squares. I'm out of ideas right now. I am out of ideas right now. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is I have a, I do too. I have a mug rug I'm working on. I'm trying to get some mug rugs made. So y'all get to join in and make mug rugs. So the one I'm doing right now is going to have, y'all okay with doing mug rugs? Okay, cool. Cool. So this is going in the center. That one is going in the center. Okay, so what we're doing over here is we are doing, I'm trying to get a bunch of these made. I'm trying to get a bunch of mug rugs made. So, needless to say, we need a piece of stabilizer on here. I have a stack of stabilizer over here, y'all. Ta-doom. Ta-doom. think that's going to be big enough. I hope that's going to be big enough. I'm thinking that's big enough. I hope. We're gonna see. Hopefully, we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be big enough. So what you do is you stitch that first one. That's right. And then we'll trim around this. Right there at the edge. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to trim. Carrie, can I ask? Yes, I did. I did. I can see if I can find it, and if you send me a message, I can send you the L. How about that? I'll send you the L. So I'm going to pull this out of here. We're going to trim around it. Come this way. And I actually, I use another layer of the batting before I put the center in, and I'll show you all how that works. That one, okay. So now what you're gonna do, so you took you put your batting down first, and then you're gonna take your top fabric. We're gonna put our top fabric on here. And we're just floating all this. We're just floating all this, all these pieces on here. So we have so you have your batting that you trimmed all the way to the edge. Now we put this one here, and we're gonna stitch that one down. And I kind of hold it because sometimes it'll bunch that fabric there. So we're gonna make sure it doesn't bunch. Once it stitches down, you're good. So now it's going to do another stitch on there, and then it'll move to the center. So now what it's going to do is it's going to stitch that center stitch and let you know where to put that next piece of fabric. So now what you do is you kind of try and center whatever image you're putting. I mean, you could use a piece of image that's on a fabric or wherever is on there, and try and center it on there and make sure that you're getting the top there. Then you press that down. Go ahead and, because what you're going to do is you're going to do that top stitch, and then you're going to take and trim around it after you do that top stitch there. Come around and do this top stitch. So now what we're going to do is we'll go and we'll trim all the way around that. Take that off of there. You want to trim as close as you can, because you have a satin stitch that's going to go around it. So you don't have to worry about it too much, but you try not to trim the stitches. Try not to trim the stitches on there. Sometimes I end up getting the stitches, but it's not a deal breaker because, like I said, you end up with a satin stitch, which the satin stitch goes and does a zigzag across around the edge. But then it also goes and puts that satin, so it covers up a lot of the raw edges and stuff, which is nice. Nice thing is the embroidery literally stops when you need to trim. So okay, keep stitching here. So now what's going to do is it's going to do another stitch around the edge, and it's going to kind of, you know, that zigzag stitch I told you about. So now it's going to put a zigzag stitch around it, kind of sealing off those raw edges until it's done stitching. And we're going to go over a little bit today because we're going to let this go ahead and stitch all the way out. We'll let it stitch all the way out. So kind of liking that in the middle. Isn't that not going to be cool? So the next one, thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you. So our next stitch is actually going to do the quilting. It's actually going to do the quilting in the middle of that. So we're going to let this go. And that extra piece of batting on there, it just gives it that pop. Because if you notice on this one, so you have your outside, but this one is actually kind of pops out. It kind of pops out on there, so it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. So absolutely, we can do a day of embroideries. We can absolutely do it because I love embroideries, y'all. I love embroideries. But as you see, as it stitches, you see how it pops out? Adding that extra layer of batting under this piece of fabric also makes it really cool. It's the thing, I mean, I've been embroidering for so many years, so, right? I love these mug rugs too. Get you a drink of coffee while we're watching this, y'all. Get you a drink of coffee while we're watching this. I have this machine and brand new to me, never, oh my gosh, awesome. Well, cool, you can start embroidering. You can start embroidering. It is so much fun. Yes, right, Miss Amy? We'll do a live. Thanks for the gifts, y'all. Thanks for the gifts. We'll do a live on just doing embroideries, y'all. We'll do a live on just doing embroideries if you want. Thank you, Beverly. Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just keeping the same color of thread on here. So it's now going to do its satin stitch on here. So this is actually part of the design. This is part of the design. So there's actually 11 different steps in this. Yeah, so on this embroidery design, it has the different steps on that. So if you send me a message, I can send it to you. So no, so they come from E. This one came from E. You can get them at all kinds of different locations on there. So, and I can, yeah. So, and depending on what type of machine you have, is depending on what type of the design it is. But they all more or less come with all the designs that you would need. So this one is PES, a .PES, but depending on what kind of machine you have, you know, like what is it? This machine, well, my other machine over there, which is it's a Husky, is that one actually uses a VPE. So it all depends on what machine you have. So if you want some more information, shoot me a message. I'm more than willing to help you out. More than willing to help you out on there. So. Or EXP, okay, yeah. What type of machine do you have? No, Dahlia does not. And like I said, we can do a live of step by step by step on how to run the machine, and I can help you out. Oh, so it's a Janome. The Janomes, I think, anybody else have a Janome on here? I'm ProMaker 15 needle. Oh my gosh, how exciting is that? And the Bernina, do you have the Bernina 790? So many different machines out there. So many different machines out there. Yeah, but if you guys would like, we can go, I mean, they all pretty much run the same, but we can do a step by step by step to make sure that y'all know exactly. I'll show you exactly how to load those designs, how to if you want to modify the designs, increase the size. Some of them you got to be careful though on the zipper ones. You can't really increase the sizes on that. So, all right, Miss Amy, we'll do that. How about let's add that for next week? Add that for next week. Absolutely, Cynthia. Absolutely. So Monday we're quilting Miss Amy's quilt. Tuesday we're doing embroideries. So awesome. Okay, Cynthia, we can do that. Absolutely. We can figure it out. Oh, very cool, Robin. Very cool. I am. We can stay on live longer next Tuesday. We can have a long live of doing embroideries. We can have a long line of doing embroideries on Tuesday. Awesome day because, yeah, it's Veterans Day. So, and my thread broke. So we got to redo my thread. So I'm kind of cheating. I have my thread going through my serger up top because I don't like the side loaders of the thread. I don't like the side. Let me thread that. And I'm going to back up that stitch a little bit. Yeah, let's play plan that. So I think we should plan that. So Tuesday, we should plan Tuesday as an embroidery day. We can have a long, well, thank you, Miss Cynthia. So we can have a long day of doing embroidery. So we can make a mug rug in the hoop. We can do a zipper bag in the hoop. Whatever y'all want to make. So like I said, I'm off Tuesday. So, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we'll have some fun. I'm excited. Let me write this down because, you know, Monday. And y'all, I have 3 different embroidery machines. 3 different embroidery machines that we can use. So, let me say. So, Monday is quilting. Tuesday, embroidery. And somebody else wants something else next week too? Oh, thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you. Wasn't there something else that we wanted next week? I'm trying to remember what it was. I know we had already planned on doing Miss Amy's quilt purse. We did a bag last week. We can do the Grinch purse. Y'all want to do the Grinch purse? We can do the Grinch. Okay. I'm adding that to Wednesday. Wednesday is Grinch. We're just going to put Grinch. I'll know what I'm talking about. So Thursday. Yeah, okay. Stocking we're doing tomorrow. We're doing Christmas stocking tomorrow. We can totally, that Christmas ornaments are this Thursday. So we're doing Christmas stocking tomorrow. Thursday we're doing Christmas ornaments. Friday we're going to do a rope wall hanging. So, yes, we're doing stocking tomorrow. Can I show the bag from last week? Absolutely. Absolutely. I can show you both bags from last week because we did 2 bags last week. We did 2 bags last week. I think we did both of them last week. Did we do both of them last week? I don't know. I'll show you both bags anyways. So, because we have this bag. We have this bag. And then Friday was rope day. Friday was rope day. So we had fun. Right? Quilt squares. Do you recognize this quilt square? We just made this quilt square. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So is that not cool? Is that not cool? So, and the nice thing is check out the rope because we made this on Friday, so we had to do the rope on there. We had to do the rope on that one. So, how fun is that? And the inside of the bag is some fun fabric. So, right? It came out really awesome. Really awesome. And then it's got the vinyl on the bottom. It has the vinyl on the bottom with the boxed off squares. So, Miss Cynthia, can you help Miss Deidre, please? Or Miss Amy? We're going to let this embroidery finish, because that way... okay, yeah, shoot me a message. Shoot me a message. Okay, so it is done with that satin stitch. So you can see that it's done that satin stitch all the way around. So now we got a couple more stitches. It's, like I said, this is part of the design. So part of the design. We're going to go over a little bit because we're going to let this finish. Because I'm going to show y'all, I do a different step. The last stitch, I don't do. I do a different stitch on that last stitch. Is that not cool? Did that not turn out cool? Over on here. Yeah, just click on my profile and you can send me a message. Yes, I'm going to be, I got my setup, so I'm going to be getting it set up maybe tonight if I can. I'm going to do, that way I don't have to repost. I'll be able to go live on there. You are very welcome. Good morning, good morning. I know I'm on a little longer today, but that's okay because I want to finish this, good morning, Miss Peach Angel. I want to finish this embroidery, so once we get the embroidery all finished, then we'll keep going here. So 32K, we've got 32K taps today. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are just phenomenal. And we got it. What did we get a restriction on? How did I get a restriction? I did not redirect anybody. Should I appeal it? It says I can appeal it. Should I appeal it? Are they seriously? We'll see what it does. Yeah, I didn't, so we'll see what the appeal does. I appealed it, so I noticed after the live, it won't let it, so because it'll show me that it was restricted. That's what I thought, Diana. I thought that was the idea. That way, you know. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Hopefully. I know, right? Okay, so it is on the last stitch, but I'm going to show y'all, because on this one, it actually does like a satin stitch around the edge, but I do it a little different because I don't like, so this is how I end mine. This is how I end mine with like the full thing. It just seems a little easier for me, and I like the way it turns out. So I'm going to show y'all how to do that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take, thank you. Let's see what it did. Let's see what it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 white pieces of 10-inch squares, fold them in half, there, like this. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the embroidery machine, because we're not going to run that last stitch. We are not going to run that last stitch. We're actually going to go back to the first stitch. We're going to actually go back to the first stitch. So I'm going to come on here on this embroidery machine. So you'll see here you have a negative and a positive. So we're going to move it ahead 1 stitch. That goes back to the very first stitch on there. So because that's just a single stitch around here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this square down. And then I'm going to take this one. And you just got to make sure you're covering the top and the bottom here, y'all. Come up a little bit here. And this is where that tape comes into play too. This is where the tape comes into play, because you want to be able to make sure that that doesn't stitch. So you're going to go ahead and hit start and see which way it's going to go. But I'm pretty sure it's going to come this way. So it's going to stitch It's going to stitch around this way, so it's going to come down and it'll go over this one, so I don't have to worry about this one. But this one over here, I need to put a piece of tape. That way when that embroidery foot comes back this way, it doesn't pick up that fabric on there, so. All right, it says restrictions. Let's see what the restrictions. Appeal not approved. What did I say? What did I say? I don't know. So we're going to go back one and do it one more stitch on there again. Aggravating. We're going to run it one more time. I'm going to look, I don't know, let me see. At 4:54. What did I say at 4:54? I have no idea. The restriction goes away as soon as the live goes away, so who knows? Yeah, it won't let me appeal it again, so. Okay, so we're taking this back out of here. So the tape that you sewed, that's just medical tape on there. So we're going to take that out. Take that out. Thank you, Miss Susan. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to trim around this. And you want to make sure that you don't cut your, don't cut your seam. So I just want to make sure that I don't get dinged and they push me off here, because I would miss y'all. I would completely miss y'all. So, okay. So we're going to go this way. I have a feeling it may have been when I was talking about the name of the machines. I don't know. You have to be so careful on it. I got to think back. What did I... That was at... I don't know. I probably should, Laura. I probably should. That way, just in case, it's just aggravating. Okay, I will. I'll do that today. There we go. Okay. So now, we have this. So now what we're going to do, we're going to turn it inside out. And you want to press those corners out. Press those corners out that you've just sewn. Press it up. And turn that iron on. There's that one. Well, exactly. I know, Miss Amy, because I had no idea. Good morning, Miss Jackie. Good morning. How are you? Y'all, Miss Jackie is my lovely daughter-in-law. So we're going to get this one. Y'all, that one is gorgeous. Let's go ahead and get it pressed. This one pressed. It is, Miss Susan. It is, Miss Susan. Right? So let's go ahead and go over here and get it pressed. And we're pressing from the back because of that design on the front. And we're going to grab that on the back. We're going to use that. We have one square left. I may have to make a mug rug out of it. I may have to make a mug rug out of that one. Okay. So we have, I am Miss Jackie. I am. I'm just on a little bit late. So we have this one. Is that not cool? These are cool. Very, very cool. These are available too, y'all. These are available too. Shoot me a message. Very cool. Yes, you'll have to try it on your embroidery machine. You'll have to try it on the embroidery machine. Thank you, Miss Amy. I appreciate that. Very cool. Very cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. All right. I gotta let y'all go. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We're making Christmas stockings tomorrow. We are making Christmas stockings tomorrow. We're gonna have fun, and the request was to make a rag Christmas stocking. So we're going to do the rag quilt theme with the phrase, I'm thinking is what it is. So somebody sent me a video that I'm gonna check out. So we'll have some fun with it. So y'all have a great day. Shoot me a message if you're wanting any of the information for what we did today. Thank you, Miss Jackie. Thank you. Otherwise, y'all have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good day, and I'll go ahead and make up my backup account because beans I keep getting dinged for I don't even know why. So I will make that backup account for y'all to go hit that way, just in case. That way we don't lose each other. So y'all have a good one. Bye, guys.